In this training video, we will discuss how you can create your event budget with our event planning software. In the left navigation, we go to budgets. You see on the top left that we're still in the same product launch event. The budget is currently empty, so we start with add a budget line. We need to enter a category. For example, let's take the venue. Description, whatever you want. I'll put in venue. This is a cost. We can have costs and or revenues. Revenues can be ticket sales or something like that, but not every event has revenues. If you're organizing a client event or an event for your staff, you don't have revenues. So then it are only costs. You can select a venue. Let's say we do the event in Antwerp Expo. You start typing the name, and if the venue is on the event planner platform, you can just select them out of the list. If not, you keep typing and you enter whatever you want in there. Let's say the venue is a fixed price, let's say $5,000, and I can put add line. What you see over here is that we have the venue costs. They are grouped by the categories we had, and on top you see the total cost of the event. Let's say we add another cost. Now I will go to catering. Description, yeah, I'm not very original here, but I put in catering as the description. It's again a cost. The caterer is, let's say, Catering Van Eyck. They charge a fixed fee of $500 to come to the event, and then they have a fee of €50 per person. Now, very carefully look what happens here. This is a unit price. That means that it will be multiplied by, in this case, the default is the number of people you put on the settings of the event. Remember from the first training video, when you create a new event, you enter the number of people in the event. So standard, that is selected. If you say, okay, no, I want to manually edit the units, you can click this checkbox below and you can change the 250 to 150, for example. But if you're working with number of people, it's interesting to keep the checkbox off and keep it to the standard, because I will show you what happens now. If I'll add the budget line, what you will see is that for catering costs, we have the fixed price, we have the unit price, we have 250 units, and then the total makes $13,000. But what happens now, if I go to the event setting and say, okay, no, I have some cancels, not 250 people, but 200 people will join the event. I update the event information, and what you do see over here is that the number of units automatically change to whatever you set on the event level, and the budget changes as well. It is of course possible that for some things you do need to set units manually. Like for example, if you want registration desks at the entrance of your event, you might need 10 of them. Then you can say, okay, this is the unit price. I enter manually 10 pieces and that is the outcome. So you can play with that. Now let's assume we are organizing kind of a festival or a public event where we do charge an entrance fee. What you then can do is say, okay, I have some revenue from, for example, the guests. The description is ticket sales. This is a revenue. There's no supplier involved in this case, and people pay, let's say, $100 per person. I'll add the budget line. What happens then on top is you see your total cost, you see your total revenue, and you see the balance. In this case, with these costs and this revenue, we will have $4,500 in revenue for this event. The next thing we can do, and that becomes very interesting if you're organizing larger events, what you typically want to do is have different versions of your budget. Possibly you want to have an optimistic scenario, but maybe you also want to have a pessimistic version of your event. What you then can do is create a new version of the budget, and you can create a new one from a blank sheet. Or what I will do over here is copy the current version. And then I can give it a name, let's say budget version 2, copy. Now I have identically the same budget. I can switch between the budgets on top. But what I can do over here is say, okay, now we have, I'll put it manually for here now. We only have 100 people and we only have 100 people in ticket sales. Yeah, then you see that the balance for your event is not positive anymore, but you will lose $500. And by having those versions, you can start playing and looking around what will the impact be of certain costs. Another reason for using versions of a budget can be, let's say you're an event agency and you do a pitch, and in the initial pitch you did put in a budget. After the deal is signed, you start refining the budget. Then typically you take a copy, start refining on the copy, and you have a budget version 2 which you will present to your customer. Customer might have some remarks on that, so you take another copy, start working on number 3, change some stuff and end up with a new budget of your event. Having that history is kind of interesting to have. So basically budgets are very easy to use. It's a very smart, straightforward way of working. The last thing I want to share with you is something I already mentioned in the first episode, and that is whether you want to work including or excluding VAT. So remember, if we go to the show info and we click on the edit screen, there is this checkbox that says work with prices excluding VAT. Standardly, we consider all prices including VAT, so you add the gross prices into the tool. But let's say, okay, no, I want to work excluding VAT because I'm working for a company, they want reports on prices excluding VAT, then I can do so by checking this checkbox. At any moment, you can change an event budget into a VAT exclusive event budget, but remember, once you do, you can't go back. So it's a one-way direction. You can do this at any point, but if you want to create an event budget without VAT, best way is to select this checkbox when creating the event. We forgot, so we do it right now. I click Save. The only thing that we then need to do is, because you now see that also over here, there's a new column over here that says VAT, but the VAT percentage is empty since we didn't enter that data when creating the lines. So if you change the VAT status of the project after creating budget lines, you need to revisit them one by one. We can do that. We can say, okay, VAT percentage of catering is 6%, save that to the budget line. For a venue, let's say it's 21%, and the ticket sales is also 21%. We save that. So what we do see now is that VAT is calculated separately. On top, we will see the prices excluding VAT, the VAT, and then the total inclusive VAT is also shown on the screen. One thing I need to mention when working with multiple versions of the budget is that once you've taken a copy of a budget, obviously the original doesn't change. So in this case, since I now added the VAT numbers on budget version 2, I should also do so on budget version 1. And again, that's the reason why you typically set this setting at the creation of the event. So basically, budgets helps you create a straightforward, insightful budget for your event. Again, you can share with peers to review, to work on together, whatever is needed for your project. Thanks for watching this training session. I look forward to see you in the next one.